Yeah, yeah. A very good evening to everybody. Good evening to everybody. Good evening to everybody. It is 6 p.m. 6 p.m. and as I posted yesterday, or as I announced, but I'll have a conversation with the France ambassador to Ghana. Yeah, I promised that exactly 6 p.m. I'll be having this conversation with the France ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Anne Sophie Ave, for her to talk to us on a number of things. I mean, a lot of things between Ghana and France, and how Ghana's relationship with France is doing, what France is doing to help Ghana, what Ghana is also doing to help France, how things are going on between the two countries. And one thing that has been going on for a very long time, people questioning us on it. So I'm hoping to having a great time with Her Excellency, yeah, and Sophie Ave this evening with my life. Yeah, I really do live. Yes, I really do live. I really do live. I really do live. So if I come on live, it means that okay. So Her Excellency, hey, how do you do? I think I've accepted her. Yeah. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. I rarely do live either.
Yeah. Good evening, Her Excellency.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me and giving me the opportunity. I'm ready to answer all your questions.
And thank you very much for also agreeing to join me on live to answer all the questions that bother people on France-Ghana relationship and then matters arising.
Thank you.
Okay,
Oh,
let me
yes.
start before others come in with their questions. You can drop any question that you have for the ambassador, and I'll read it loud and clear for her to answer you. First of all, people think that you came here like 2 years ago. For how long have you been in Ghana as ambassador for France to Ghana?
I arrived September 2018, okay. And actually the first year I was observing and trying to discover the country. I've been around a bit, and I actually have started explaining and showing what, sharing what I was doing. I started the show Touch of France end of 2019. So my first year was warming up, but I've been here for almost 4 years now.
Oh, okay. And how has your stay in Ghana been for you for the past 4 years?
Well, it's been absolutely fantastic. Of course, COVID has not really helped because it has suspended some of the projects that we were doing, and suddenly it was all about health. It was all about PCR tests, about vaccines, and the projects that we normally run, they were either suspended, postponed. That was a bit frustrating, but it's this Ghana is. I've said it many times, so probably people are a bit fed up of hearing it. The best thing about Ghana is the people, and I try as much as I can, as I get the chance to get out of my embassy and meet with people everywhere, and that's how you get an intimate understanding of the country. And the people here are just so extraordinary, so welcoming, so nice, that the experience, you are making my experience just unforgettable. So I'm still here until August 2022, but I'm going to make the most of every minute that's left.
Wow. That is very sad. It is very sad to hear that you'll be leaving this very August to a different place. Are you going back to Paris, or you're going to a different place?
I hope I will stay in Africa.
Okay.
I don't know yet, because we have elections in France. So the president we have elections for the president as well as for the parliamentary. So, we don't know what's happening. And ambassadors are appointed by the president. So okay. The current president wants to leave it to his successor or himself, if he is re-elected, to decide of the ambassador. So I should be fixed by May or June. But I want to be completely dedicated to what I'm doing here. I've never had career plans. I don't want to waste time thinking of tomorrow. I want to be doing today.
I'll go to questions that people are asking. But before that, let me ask, how is Ghana's relationship with France like?
We have a friendly cooperative relations, and we've had for we've always had a very friendly cooperation. We don't have a history like we have in the neighboring countries, but we were always present because there were French people here, so there was always a consulate. And as early as 1957, when Ghana declared independence, I think we were among the first countries to recognize the sovereignty and the independence of Ghana, and therefore the premises that we had for the consulate became the residence of the ambassador. And amazingly, I found the copy of the letter that the consul sent to the newly appointed ambassador, who was praising Ghana and saying, you're going to enjoy this country. The climate is very bearable and the people are fantastic. So that is a trademark of Ghana. You've always been like that. It's not new.
Okay, so as an ambassador for the past 4 years, since 2018 to date, what are some of the things that you can say that you've achieved here as an ambassador? Actually,
the ambassadors just follow each other, and whatever I have done had been started by my predecessor, and whatever I do will be carried on by my successor. We always work for our successors because sometimes projects take time to be put in place. But what we had already started, and I just followed up, carried on, was the teaching of French. Okay. We have been training French teachers, and we have heard what's been said by Ghanaians that sometimes French is being taught a bit in a harsh way. So we are teaching also how to teach in a fun way, because French is supposed to be a fun language. It's supposed to be the language of love, that too, and so people, you can't teach it by beating or threatening. It has to be made fun, and you cannot learn unless you understand why and what's the point of learning French. If you are convinced that it's going to help you get a better job because you will be able to work or trade at the borders and have relationships with your neighboring countries, if it makes you feel like you will be able, it will be an asset for you, then you'll have the motivation to learn. So yeah, we've been training a lot of teachers, and this morning I was welcoming 21 francophone teachers from France, but also the francophone countries, who will be dispatched everywhere in the regions in Ghana to contribute to teaching the teachers, but also to teach young children with hopefully good educative methods. So that's something we've done for a long time.
Okay, so aside what you just mentioned, developmental projects that France has helped the country Ghana to also make.
So we France is in Ghana is a large network. So we have the AFD, the Agence Française de Développement, and they are the bank of the public bank of France, actually. So they are the ones who have given loans, sovereign loans to the state, but they can also do non-sovereign loans to state-owned companies, for instance, to fund projects and accompany those projects, because they give the loan, but they also give some sort of expertise or technical assistance. So we have been investing in roads in Kumasi a lot. We've funded the road and the big drain to avoid the floods. We had worked on the traffic management center. We are doing things in crops. For instance, we have founded the plantations of many I think it was rubber trees. So these are some of the projects that AFD is funding. We also have Proparco, and these guys, they are funding SME. We are supporting the hubs, the hubs for what do you call them, startups, so that they can have the training and they can get a good start, you see, because sometimes they have a good idea, but they don't know about accountancy and the whole hassle of putting a file together to go and get some support or loans or equity. So that's what we try to do with the hubs, and we're doing many different things in areas where we identify some needs. We try to make sure that whatever we do will benefit as many people as possible. So, but of course we cannot be everywhere and do everything. And of course we fund the civil society associations. So I recently posted we published on the website that we were doing a call for applications. So I think it's still on the embassy website. So if you have an association and projects in the area of gender equality, biodiversity, but in a really, really large acception. So you can go and see if you can apply for the project. So yes, we do many things.
If I don't start to ask people's questions, I think they might kill me. So before I go on the question that people are asking, let me ask what the Campus France is all about. Let me start from there. What Campus France is all about?
Campus France is actually one of the big network, one of these elements of the French network, where if you want to study in France, you will be looking at what subjects you can learn. Is it possible to have courses in English because you may not be fluent in French? Can I have a scholarship? How do I find an accommodation? How expensive is it? Well, all these all these information you can find at Campus France. That's what they're here for. So usually when you are looking at studying in France, you are still in university. So one of the Campus France's offices is in Kumasi, and one is in Accra. I visited them, I think last week, and I asked them all those questions on your behalf. So I hope it was helpful. So that's what Campus France is about.
Okay. Most of the questions here, I think, are visa related. So let me start from that because I have a lot of comments here, a lot of questions. So let me start from there. Visa related questions. How do one get a visa to France? And okay, let me start from there. How do one get a visa to France?
Okay, I can tell you how not to do, and it is to contact you.
yeah, not to contact me.
Don't contact Zion. It's actually don't contact me either. The visas are handled by the consulate. The consulate is handling everything that has to do with civil rights and services to the citizen. So for the French, we do passports or ID cards, and for foreigners, wherever they come from, you don't have to be Ghanaian. If you're an Ivorian, you live here, you need a visa to France, you can come to the consulate here. And they are dealing with that and jointly with the French immigration. So there's no point trying to bypass because you have to be in the system. So to be in the system, all you have to do is go online, and it's a website called france-visas.gouv.fr, GOV for gouvernement in French. So I post it regularly. So on this website, not only can you apply, but you also have a quiz. Do I need a visa? What kind of visa do I need? What are the requirements? So all the questions that you actually ask me and DM, everything is on that website. And because it's a Schengen visa, once you get a visa, it gives you access to all 26 countries. So the requirements are agreed among the 26 countries. And of course, they can change, they can evolve when so they are always up to date, which I may not be. So go to the website. Then when you finish the application form, they will transfer you to VFS website to get an appointment. Sometimes you have to plan a bit in advance. Sometimes you get an appointment at a too late a date. No problem. You still make the appointment, but then you go onto the embassy website, contacts, you find the contact for the visa section. You send them an email saying, okay, I've done my application. Here's my registration number. So I am in the system. But the date I was given is like end of March, and I want to travel end of Feb. Can I get an earlier date? And that's how it works. And you can also contact VFS to ask them to try and reschedule for an earlier date. So really, it's very transparent. I have absolutely no power on that stuff. Actually, the consul is the only person in the embassy who can say no to me.
Okay.
He's the only one allowed. And I'm not allowed to bypass and to say, to make a fuss and say, yeah, but I want you to. If he says no, it's because he is backed by the French immigration, and there's no way I can oversee, overlook, over whatever. It's impossible. So so that's how it goes. It's just everything is online. So there's no point trying to find someone, talk to someone, bribe someone. There's absolutely no point, because at the end of the day, it's in the system, and the documents that you are presenting to the embassy, we are putting them in the system, and everything is being reviewed by the French immigration. And then we get the go or no go. If we get the go, we print the visa, stick it in your passport, and we give it back. If we got a no, then we have to issue a letter where we are telling you, sorry, we have to deny you. But on that specific letter, it's also explained how you can appeal that decision. So okay. I have nothing to do with visa, much as disappointing as it may be. I'm just looking at how many followers we are certainly losing when we're not, but we're not. Thank you very much for staying in spite of my useless with visa.
So a little bit of education here. I want to travel to maybe Germany. Can I apply through France?
Actually, when you want to travel to one of the 26 Schengen, the visa has to be issued by the very first state you will enter.
Okay.
So if you want to travel to Germany, but you will pass through France first, because you're flying Air France, for instance, and you will stay overnight and then fly to Germany, you have to apply for a visa for France. So the first entry point is the country that will issue the visa.
Oh, okay. That's Sometimes people do apply for visas with fake bank statements, fake documents. Are there punishments for that? Because some people don't know.
Punishments? No, they just get a travel ban. What you need to know is that if you produce fake documents, we will, if you do that with another Schengen, it will be written in the system. So the next time you turn up in another embassy by your luck elsewhere, when we'll enter your passport number or your name, and we have many ways to cross-check, suddenly it will flash an alert to say, oh, this guy has tried with another Schengen, like with Germany, German embassy, Netherlands, Italy, and he had fake documents. So immediately we will have this alert. So, nothing goes unnoticed, and you will be in trouble, because when we see these fake bank statements, we will report eventually. We will say, okay, there's an attempt to illegally, producing illegal documents. I mean, it's a fraud. Mm-hmm. So yes, we will. We're sometimes very sorry. Sometimes it's very obvious. I mean, so yes, we have unfortunately to deny and to put an alert so that if they try their luck in another Schengen country, unfortunately they will be denied too.
Okay, and somebody is also asking, how much does one needs to have in his or her account before he can apply with a bank statement?
That's a very good question. Actually, it depends on how long you want to stay. I think I don't think there is a steady amount, but we depending on how long you're going to stay, we will check that you have enough on your bank account not to be eventually sleeping on the street and incapable of flying back. So this is the estimation that the people at the immigration who will study the file will have to look into. But obviously, if you only have like 100 CD on your account, and if it's your only account, we will be worried that you will find yourself, 100 CD will not be enough to have just one meal in Paris. So it's because we don't want people to be, to end up sleeping on the street and having a bad experience. So when you want to travel somewhere, you have to make sure that you can actually have the best experience and enjoy it, and therefore not be in trouble.
Okay. Nana Jodita is asking, how can one attain an educational scholarship to France?
Go to Campus France, and depending on the kind of subject you're learning, there are some scholarships that are dedicated for Ghanaians, depending on the schools you want to go, depending on your grades sometimes. There are many options of scholarships you can apply, and Campus France, they are there to walk you through the options.
Okay, so if somebody wants to travel to France for maybe tourism, is it the same process he or she will go through when he's going there for business, or
Yeah, you apply for a visa. You just explain what you're applying for. If you go for business, then we might ask you questions about what kind of business, who are you going to meet, is it an official meeting, do you have an invitation? We will try and check that you're actually being honest about what you want to do. And if you want to do tourism, we will ask you to show that you actually have a hotel reservation, or you have booked in some holiday places, or you have an actual itinerary. So we just want to make sure that whatever you declare is actually fair. So, but of course, we love to have people visiting France. There's so much to do. I have done this TV show to promote France. So,
yeah.
the idea is actually to have as many people as possible who would want to travel to France. We don't like denying visas. We really hope to have as many people as possible coming to France. I just want to add the price of the visa is something like 60 euros, and it's a steady fee for, and it gives you access to every Schengen country. When I want to travel to Ghana, the visa for just one entry, or then if you want multiple entry, or it can go all the way up to 500 euros.
Wow.
So like 10 times more. So it's actually cheap, considering the fact that even if it's a long stay, short stay, it's the same price. Usually when it's your first time, and we will give you a short-term visa, and then if you come back, you build confidence, so then we can give you a longer term.
And somebody's asking, how long does it take to get a visa if you apply? How long does it take for them to make a decision this application?
From the moment you get the appointment, to bring your documents, and we take your fingerprints so that they are in the system, and the moment you get your passport back with the visa, it usually is like 1 week minimum, and to 15 days. But sometimes we can issue emergency visas. For instance, you work for a company that has a big contract to sign in France, and you can show that you have that meeting and you have to be there in 2 days, and you couldn't foresee it. Or you have an emergency because, I don't know, you have someone in your family who you have to visit for health reasons. I mean, there can be emergencies. In this case, then you send an email to the visa section, and therefore they will try and get you an emergency appointment.
Oh, okay. Johnny is asking, I would like to know about economic structure for someone new coming to work in France.
Sorry, I would like to know
what's the process someone would have to go through if he or she wants to work in France.
Well, you should have a job before, actually, because what the Schengen countries do not want is people who come to one of the Schengen countries without a job and say, okay, I will find a job, and then eventually end up jobless and with no money to come back. So if you want to work in France, actually, thanks to the internet, you've got many online job offers, or you have French companies here who have a headquarters. So you need to have already a job or something, and to prove that you have a job to go and work in France. But I can't see why you would like to go and work overseas, because there's so much to do here. And you also have the spirit of entrepreneurs. So sometimes you can, create your own job, your own activity. And the grass is no greener elsewhere, especially not in the winter. You were in France in the winter, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you would strongly suggest against sleeping on the street at that time. So France is expensive. So unless you already have a job and pretty well paid, you will be in trouble, because renting a flat in Paris or even in the suburbs is very expensive. So it's not something you can, take your suitcase and say, okay, I'll just go and find a job. Even for the French, even for the people who are there, who know all the systems, who have the right context, it is difficult to find a job. So I wouldn't recommend that. If you have a chance to work in France, or to go as a language assistant, or to do an internship, because you find, seize it. If you have a chance to go and study in France, seize it. But don't try and immigrate for job reasons. It's not going to help, and you're going to be miserable.
Oh, okay. I think Abna has a related question as a follow-up. She says, how can one also apply as a nurse when she can speak the language perfectly? She can speak French perfectly.
Oh, you mean pairs?
Nurse.
Like a nurse? Yeah.
Yeah.
There are many websites where families are looking for a nurse, a nanny, or so if you mean a nurse in a hospital?
Yeah, in a hospital.
Oh, in a hospital. Okay. So, well, the requirement will be to speak French, because you would be in a team where people speak French, and people will just exchange in French. So I think the very first requirement is to speak French, so you can actually blend into a French team. Indeed, we have an American hospital, but even that, the nurses, they speak perfect French. So that was the first requirement. Then you have advertisement, job offers online, and you might be applying. The visa that you get for work, there's no working permit. It's then once you arrive, if you have a job, you will apply for a resident permit that includes the fact that you have a job.
There are so many questions coming in. This one is asking, this man, I think he's in the States, and he's asking, do I need a visa to France as a green card holder?
From the US?
Yeah, as a green card. He has a green card from the America.
I think if it depends on the passport. If the passport is Ghanaian, I think you do. I think you do have you need a visa. But this is the kind of question you can check online on france-visas.gouv.fr. If you will tick all the boxes, and they will tell you if you do or if you do not. My guess off the top of my head is that you do, but I may be wrong. So check online on the website.
Okay. And someone also comes in to ask, does the COVID restrictions in France mean that if someone applies around this time, he or she will be denied visa?
No, we will not deny a visa, but you might be denied checking in the airplane. Actually, we are not allowed for, your health is private. So we are not allowed to ask you if you are fully vaccinated. All we can say when we deliver the visa is that you have to be fully vaccinated and to have a negative PCR test. But we at the consulate, at the embassy, we do not check that. We just inform you. But then when you turn up at the airport, the airline will have to check the moment you check in that you actually have your vaccination certificate that is valid and a negative PCR test. If you don't, you will not be allowed to get on board the plane. It's not the airline's responsibility. It is because if they let you board, the moment you arrive in France, you will be bounced back by immigration, and the airline will have to pay for your trip back plus a fine. So that's why they are actually very careful not to let you board if you do not meet the requirements, because otherwise it would be on them to bring you back.
Okay, so there's a travel and tour company in Ghana here which has a question to ask. Eno Travels. They're asking, do you make exceptions to issue visas to people who have a good social status like celebrities, but does not have documents to show what they do?
No, and I will not tell who, but if he is watching us, he could very easily confirm we have denied visas to some celebrities.
Okay, and Jonathan is also asking,
because you see, what we study is the file individually, and actually the dossier was not convincing, so we couldn't issue the visa. So then they presented again with a more serious dossier, and they are still actually under process at the moment. We denied visas to celebrities, so that doesn't help at all. It doesn't help at all.
Okay, so there's no special treatment for celebrities?
Nope.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
no, I'm sorry. They will also have to produce their bank account. They will also have to produce their where they're going to stay and everything, because we never know. No, I'm sorry. There's no
Okay.
bypass celebrities. Immigration is completely blind when it comes to that. When you arrive at immigration, most guys at the immigration desk, the people at the customs, they don't know you're celebrities, so
Yeah.
it will not impress them.
Does the French embassy give out scholarship to Ghanaian students? That is somebody's questions.
Nope. We give. We have a budget that we give to the scholarship secretariat, and they, well, I say no, actually we do, but the most scholarships is a big budget, a budget that we give to the scholarship secretariat so that they can offer joint scholarships. They pay half of it, we pay half of it, so it enables giving more, and this is to be applied at the scholarship secretariat. And then we also do scholarships for masters and doctorates, but not that many a year. And that on our website, then we do a call for applications for those scholarships. So yes, we do, but but it's no point applying at those moments when we have the calls for applications. There is a specific moment in the year when we publish on our website, there is a call for application. That's the moment when you need to apply.
Okay. Before I go on to my next question, kindly give us the website URL for people to apply. Because
It is actually it's very easy. You just Google French Embassy Ghana and looking for the handle. Sorry, I don't. So which one was I talking about? The French Embassy. Sorry. So
yeah,
the French Embassy website is www.gh.ambafrance.org.
Okay.
GH for Ghana, .amba for ambassade. Yeah, it's not embassy, but ambassade. France altogether.org. But the easiest is actually you Google French Embassy in Ghana, and then you've got the link immediately.
Okay. And somebody's also asking what will make the consulate refuse a student who has got admission and has showed proof of finance a visa?
Something was wrong in the file. So if they want to know why, they can appeal the decision, and then they will have an explanation. They can also ask the explanation. They can ask the consulate. But there must have been something that was missing, or something that was not convincing, or something that was not coherent. We don't deny for the pleasure of denying, but sometimes, yes, the consulate will check with the university, so we have some sort of a registration proof by the university. We will check with the university that document is actually authentic, and sometimes they say, no, I'm sorry, we don't know that person. So you see, we have these very different cases, but you can ask why you were denied sending it to the visa section.
There's a Ghanaian in Dubai who's asking if he can also apply for visa to France from Dubai.
Yes, we don't have an embassy in Dubai. We have one in Abu Dhabi, but I know Abu Dhabi, Dubai, it's just like 1 or 2 hours drive. I don't know if I'm not sure we have a consulate in Dubai, but anyway, it's in Abu Dhabi. You can, whatever your nationality, you can go to the consulate of France. I would think it's in Abu Dhabi.
Okay. I think somebody also wants to know about vaccination and traveling issues. Because he says last month, health workers in France were given a period to get vaccinated.
You got a period to get vaccinated?
Yeah, he said last month, health workers in France were given a period to get vaccinated. So vaccination and traveling issues. If you're traveling, do you have to get fully vaccinated, or just one shot, you can travel to France?
No, you have to be fully vaccinated.
Okay.
You have to be vaccinated.
Okay. So I'm here with Her Excellency Anne Sophie Ave, who happens to be the France ambassador to Ghana, asking all the questions that you have for her this evening. A lot of questions are here. A lot of questions are here. And then please ask her how they are able to determine who would return to Ghana after their stay and who wouldn't. In short, what's the criteria for determining a good candidate for a visa to France or not?
Well, I guess immigration has their criteria, but obviously, if you have insufficient fund, I think they will be worried that you will probably not be able to sustain your stay and might not want to return. And also, you see, when you do the interview, sometimes the answers might not be completely relevant, and they say, oh, it's not consistent. So then we have to put in the answers in the system, and then we have some sort of doubt. But there are some people very bluntly say, I want to immigrate, and that's not possible.
And you just mentioned interview. Do people have to go for an interview before, during the application?
After they have applied on francevisa.gouv.fr, VFS will give them an appointment. When they turn up for the appointment, they will present all the documents that are required. They will give their fingerprints so that they're in the system, and then they will have an interview, a few questions about the motivations, why they want to go to France, and we will check. For instance, it's very simple. So, oh, what bank, what is your bank again? And then the person will say, oh, I'm EcoBank. And then we look at the bank statement and it's a different bank. So, it's just trying to cross-check if the dossier is relevant.
I think you answered this question earlier, but maybe the person might just come. He's asking, can somebody be returned if he gets to immigration at France? Like you have a visa, you get to immigration at France, and they send you back to Ghana without allowing you entry into the country?
Normally, no, because if you have a visa, normally the airline will check it up. If it goes all the way to reaching Roissy Charles de Gaulle, and you arrive at the immigration there, and you have to be bounced back, the airline will be in trouble because they haven't checked that you met the requirements to enter. For instance, you didn't have your vaccine, you didn't have your PCR test, and so yes, we normally don't go as far as bouncing you back once in France. But yeah, it can happen that people make up false fake visas, and normally we spot it immediately. Well, the airline spots it, or at immigration, even Ghanaian immigration, we work closely with them. So when you go present your passport, they can tell immediately that the visa is a fake. But sometimes it's such good fakes that it goes all the way to boarding, getting into the plane. But then you will be in big trouble once you reach France, because then we have readers that will see immediately that the visa is fake. So I wouldn't suggest that you travel and try to get away with something that is I mean, France should be a nice experience, so why would you try and pass through the drops of the rain, as we say, and it has to go smooth. Just comply. Believe you me, when I come to Ghana, even being an ambassador, I have to do a PCR test, negative PCR test from France, from 72 hours. I have to have my yellow fever. I have to go through the whole process of the compulsory and $150 compulsory PCR test on arrival. I have to stay and wait for like 20 minutes to get my the results of the PCR test. So it's the same. Every country has the right to set their own rules to enter their territory, and even a diplomat, even an ambassador, I'm following the exact same rule as any French or foreigner coming into Ghana. I have to pay my $150 to do the antigen test. I have to do a PCR test before I leave. I have to fill in the health form online. I do it. So I think it's a bit more simple when you go to France. Just vaccine, PCR test, and that's it. You have no test on arrival. But each country has the right to set their own rules, and as far as entering France is concerned, we share those rules and regulations with the other Schengen countries. So we have to, compromise.
Okay. And somebody is asking a question. He or she is asking, can you reapply for a visa if you are denied? And for how long should you wait before you can reapply, if yes?
Depends what you're denied for. If you're denied because there was something missing, then the next time, if you provide everything there, that you're likely to not be denied. If you're denied because you produced a fake document, you're likely to have a flashing alert, and might not work the next time. If you were denied because just the document was not convincing, then the next time it can work. It really depends on if you are denied for incomplete dossier. And usually when we receive your dossier, if it's not complete, we tell you, the person at the desk tells you, your dossier is not complete and you're likely to be denied. And the person says, don't worry, I want it. Happens. So there's no steady rules. It depends,
Okay. A little bit away from visa issues.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah. Yesterday you announced DBJ as your manager.
Yeah.
Why DBJ?
Why DBJ? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he's a fantastic young man, and he's been acting as such for months already. He's the one who taught me how to use IG Live. He's actually the one who taught me how to be on IG. I had no idea. I'm pretty bad at social media. So he's the one who taught me, who explained to me how it works technically and what to do. And hello, DBJ.
Yeah,
he has been my youth. I could be his mom, if not his grandmother. And my generation, we haven't grown up with all the social media, all the internet and everything. In my days, the phone were landlines with a long thread that we had to pull on if we wanted to have privacy and lock ourselves behind the door so the parents wouldn't listen. We didn't have mobile phones. The TV was black and white when I was young. So
wow.
And suddenly now everything is on my phone, and I can watch TV on my phone. I mean, it's a revolution. So DBG has been like a son to me, very patiently explaining how it works and what I should do. And when I wanted to post something, he pushed me to do IG Live. He said, why would people watch me on IG? What's the point? And I was impressed that people actually wanted to have some sort of a connection. So he's like, it translates to me. He's a translator of what my old school kind of media tools were into how to jump into the modern media. So because he was doing that behind the scenes for a long time, I thought, okay, but people are entitled to know that he's a fantastic young man. I listened to his advice, he's made me trend on social media. So DBG, yeah.
Okay, DBJ, quick one. How does it feel to be a manager to Her Excellency?
It feels so great. It feels so great. When the call came in, it's actually everything happened yesterday. So I visited someone at Suman, and then on my way home, I had a call from Ambassador, and I was like, why is Ambassador calling me at this time? Like, have I done anything wrong? I was like, what is happening? And then Ambassador was like, DBJ, do you have time to talk? And I was like, yeah, I have time to talk. And she was like, I want to speak to you. I've been following you. I've seen a lot of things you've done. You're doing amazingly well. I want to ask you a question. Do you mind if you can be... He said, do you mind if you be my personal manager? I was speechless, I thought it was a dream. So I was driving. I wanted to hit the car in front of me to see if it was actually real. I was going because sometimes I'll dream and I see my place. I see myself at big places only to wake up and know that I was dreaming. And so when Ambassador said that, I didn't know what to say, and I was like, yes. So when she was like, I should take my time and then think about it. And I was like, think about what? So on my way on my way home, I texted her again and I asked her, I told her that if I get home, I would want to speak to her. And she said, why do you want to speak to me? What do you want to speak to me for? And I just knew it was a done deal. And by evening, it was announced. I was so happy. And for her to like to choose me as her personal manager, it means a lot. Like it means a whole lot. It means she's been following the works I do closely, and it means a whole lot.
Okay,
it means
so
a whole lot to
what are you adding up to what she's already done as an ambassador?
Well, a lot from my experience. So me being her manager, I'll be playing an advisory role for Her Excellency and to be a bridge between her and people that could help in expanding her horizon as someone in exploring culture. Also, I'm here to add to her brand. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I lost you. Also, I'm here to I'm responsible for making her brand bigger than what it is already, and try and help her figure out what she can use her influence and status to support Ghanaians at heart. I just want people to know that Ambassador is Ghanaian. She's a Ghanaian. She's very talented. A lot of people think she just hosted Start of France because she felt like doing that, but she has a lot of hidden talents that people don't know. She's so gifted. And I know in a few days, Ghanaians will see the other talents she possesses. She's
Okay.
very brilliant.
Thank you very much, DBJ. Let me have a conversation with Her Excellency before I let her
Sure.
go. I'll get back to you another time. Thank you very much for joining
Welcome.
us on this live. Her Excellency, people are saying that you love entertainment. Why is it so?
Well, who doesn't love entertainment? Look, diplomacy is about bridging two countries, and bridging countries is about friendship among people. So what is making people feel united, and what is the common passion that we can love just the same, that goes beyond the issues, languages, that crosses borders? And there are many things. There are sports, and Ghanaians have a passion for sports, football, among other sports, and the French too. So, you know, bridging people through the football player, exchange of players, that brings people together. Entertainment. I mean, you see, I look upon your entertainers as ambassadors of Ghana to the world, because not only do they have the opportunity to travel and to present what they are doing, but these arts are international standards. And the image of Ghana that they put out there is the image of modernity, talent, intelligence, pure genius in terms of music. And when you are a foreigner and when you see those artists, you think, oh gosh, if that is Ghana, it is attractive. You know, it makes Ghana attractive because music, entertainment talks to people's emotions. And so I thought, yes, that is a way to build bridges. That's why also we worked on this Paris and Accra concert and all those duets that we sort of matched French artists with Ghanaian artists. I think it's just because they are actually ambassadors of the Ghanaian music, of Ghanaian way of life. You see, there's something very precious. I've heard, I have never attended a concert of any of these arts overseas. I've been to concerts here, but what I've seen from the videos of those concerts is whenever they perform in the US, in the UK, anywhere in Europe, there's always one, if not many moments during the concert when they praise Ghana, when they proudly say they are from Ghana. And when people come to watch them, love what they do, and there's this passion around their performance, and when they say that, when they promote Ghana and use their celebrity and use of they're getting from their audience to promote Ghana, it makes them somehow ambassadors, brand ambassadors to Ghana, and that's probably what bonds us. And another thing that I I deeply admire with those artists, beyond their music, beyond their ability to put Ghana on the map, is also how much they want to bring back to the community. And that is very, it touches my heart to see that, not because they have suddenly become big arts and big celebrities. They never forgot where they came from, and they always wanted to bring back to their community. And that teaches a lesson. It's so yes, the industry is something that will bridge. I mean, when you think America, when you think US, what are the names that are coming to your head?
Entertainment, movies and music.
Payments, actors, singers. So I think Ghana is lucky to have these people who are international standards. And you see, for us in France, for a long time, Ghana was Marcel Desailly, who was born in Ghana, who is French, but he was born in Ghana. And of course, Abedi Pelé.
Yeah.
He is the legend. And he is the one who's put Ghana on the map. But now, tomorrow, I want people to be able, when you say Ghana, to say, oh, Ghana, that is Sarkodie, that is Stoneboy, that is, gosh, I'm lost.
Becca, Kwame Eugene,
Kwame, all Mr. Drew, all those wonderful arts, and Efia, and because you've got also beautiful ladies, and people will be able to list some people that are connected, that are related to Ghana. Like when you talk about America, you say, oh, Beyonce, Rihanna, or whatever. So these guys are very important when it comes to putting Ghana on the map. And once Ghana is on the map, it will attract tourism, it will attract company, investments. So it's not just because having fun and chilling with people. Of course, it's also having fun and chilling with them, at least with those I can call friends. But it's also because I truly believe that somehow we are doing a bit of the same job. They put Ghana on the map in the world, and I'm trying to put France on the map for Ghana.
Yeah, that's fine. In a few minutes, I will let you go, but I think let me ask this last one. Henry asked, Her Excellency, please, can you talk about the France Foreign Legion? This is for the young me who wants to join the French Armed Forces.
Yes. In France, we have like a whole battalion, if quite one of the army actually, that welcomes only foreign soldiers. So the entry is quite hard because the test physically is really, really hard, but it's an amazing experience. So the way to join is actually to go to France, apply, and then you are immediately welcome to the Foreign Legion. They will take you and they will make you do all the tests on a whole week. And then if you pass, then you can join the Legion. It's pretty hard actually, but there are many Ghanaians who are in the Foreign Legion, and they could certainly tell you how difficult it is, because it's an elite battalion, really. Yeah, they really are the best. I mean, when I was in Ministry of Defense, as you know, that was my former posting. I have visited the Foreign Legion several times, and these guys, they are absolutely huge. They're all muscles. They're like beasts, and you go, oh my God, I wouldn't like to fight that guy. So, and they're from everywhere in the world. They're like 100 different nationalities, and it's it's not only a very elitist and demanding training, it's also a whole experience, because you are eventually in an environment where people speak so many languages, and you learn French by singing. So yes.
Thank you very much, Her Excellency. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was an honor having you on my live. In fact, before we started, I was expecting a great convo, and you've given me more than that. I appreciate joining me on my live today.
Thank you, Zion. You have been one of the persons who have put me out there ever since you started talking about me on your social media, about what the embassy was doing, and I'm so very grateful. I think that every ambassador in Ghana is doing a fantastic job. Not all of them have the chance and have been as lucky as I am to have people who caught interest in what they were doing and putting it out there. So thank you so much, Diane. You and some bloggers have made me just visible. But I want you to be certain that all ambassadors here from their own countries are all dedicated to do a lot for Ghana. They are not as lucky as I am to be as visible.
And again, let's stress that we don't give visas. We can't help anybody get connection to get visa.
Well, I don't know, because you get so many requests that maybe I mean, maybe you have set an office. No, you haven't.
No.
Yeah. So there's no point calling Zion for visas and nor me actually. But I still get harassed. So don't worry, it's not going to change. And anyone who gets close to me, eventually, I said, well, you know, the backfire is that now that people know you know me, you will get phone calls for, can you ask the ambassadors for visas? But I think that's life. We all try our luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you. See you soon, Zion. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
You're
and
welcome.
Thank you to followers. Still 300 haven't left. So I wish you a very happy evening. And thank you for joining us. And we will try and do that. Actually, I will do a space on Twitter next week. That will be a grand premiere for me because, you know, I will need DBG to manage me on that one. Thank you so much, Diane. It's been a great pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
You're always welcome.
Fun. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you for also joining us, enjoying my conversation with the France ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Anne-Sophie Ave. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye-bye. And